see. Okay, looks like something's happening. Apologies, I'm a few minutes late, everybody. I'll just get everything ready as we join. Oh, what a morning. Of course, my grocery delivery decided that it was going to be just when I decided to go live, so that was great. So I've just popped all the frozen foods away. That sounds, the volume looks all right there. Yep, so I'm assuming I'm over on Facebook and YouTube at the moment, so please let me know if you're watching on YouTube. I can see that I'm actually over on Facebook, so that's good. It's been a wee while since I've actually been live. Apologies, and thanks for bearing with me. A couple of weekends I've just got absolutely crazy. I think my youngest got engaged one weekend, so that was a little bit of a write-off. Then I was quite unwell for a weekend, so that was a bit of a write-off as well. I had a beautiful girlfriend visit me from Canberra, so that was another write-off. So I think it's probably been 3, maybe even 4 weeks since I actually was live with you on a weekend. So anyway, here I am. I'm back, and hopefully we'll get back into a nice routine as well. Let me know how my volume is. I think during the week, while I was recording another video, I fiddled with something and it wasn't quite right when I was recording my tutorial videos for my August Fun Fold. So August Fun Fold ladies, apologies. Videos 2 and 3 tend to sort of phase in and out a little bit, but hopefully you'll get the idea just by watching the video itself and whatever words you can catch between phase outs. But anyway, yeah, so I have a feeling, as I say, I fiddled something on my mic in between videos 1 and 3, and it all went a little bit screwy. So anyway, that's all good. Okay, so there is something I wanted to show you guys before we get started, and it's got something to do with the beautiful Peaceful Garden suite that we have on the desk in front of us, which is a brand new suite. It comes available to customers on the 3rd of September in the mini catalogue. I'm expecting my supplies of mini catalogues early next week. So please, if you're a customer, you've bought from me in the last 6 months, you'll get a free catalogue anyway. If you're not a customer or you haven't bought for a while, please reach out and I'm happy to pop a catalogue into the post for you. So yeah, there's some really nice things, but I think my favourite at the moment, has to be this Peaceful Garden suite, which we're going to be using today. And with that in mind, I have my September to December 25 mini catalogue launch, my online launch, coming on the 20th of September. If you haven't been a part of my wonderful launch parties before, all online, so you don't have to get out of your pyjamas. You can slob around in your pyjamas all day and craft, and if you wish, there's no sort of getting out in the cold and going somewhere. You will get $54 worth of brand new product, which I'll show you in a second, which is all from the Peaceful Garden suite. You will get the opportunity to craft along with 2 beautiful cards, so you'll get to craft along on the day with me as well. So you're not just sitting and watching, you get to actually physically get involved. There'll be prize draws, there'll be giveaways, there's a $15 product credit for your next order that you'll have a few months to use, and the total price is $60.95. If you'd like a kit for the 2 craft along cards, just add another $10 for that and I will send you the kits, so you won't even have to cut your own cardstock. So yeah, it's a great day. Lots of ladies keep coming and coming and coming. It doesn't matter if you're a demonstrator already or if you're a customer or if you've just discovered me. It doesn't matter. You can come along, pay your $60.95 or $70.95 depending on how you roll, and you can have a great day. Now, if you can't make it on the 20th of September or you can't hang around the whole day, don't worry. Everything is recorded in a Facebook group, and you can, watch it for at least a few months after the day. So, plus you get a PDF which has got full pre-recorded videos for all the projects. So they're 2 craft along cards plus tend to do 8-10 projects as well that you can craft along with a whole range of products from the new mini catalogue. So great day, Doesn't matter if you're there on the day, you can always come back and follow. I have a lot of ladies who follow at their leisure over the weeks after the actual event itself. So please come along and, have a look at the great new catalogue. It's not a disappointment this time, the catalogue. I find it, well, personally, I find it really, really, really exciting and fun. So that's that one there. Oh, no, you don't want that. Here's back to there. Excuse me, I've got my Sunday hair on. I don't want to show you that. Here is the, as I say, the whole suite. As part of your $50, $54 or $60.95, including postage, you will get the gorgeous ribbon, the Misty Moonlight and Silver ribbon, which is very special. You'll also get, so you get a full packet of full ream of the ribbon. You get a full pack of the cute little embellishments, which are the hues of blue flowers. There we are. And you get a full pack, and forgive the bit of scraps that are on the front, you get a full pack of the Peaceful Garden Designer Series paper as well. So the total value there is $54. You just pay the extra for postage. And basically, if you cut your own kits, you get the whole rest of the day absolutely free. If you, obviously, $10 extra for your kits. And I pop those in the post to you. And it has a lovely stamp set and, what's this thing? Die set with it as well. And a really cute embossing folder. Oh, which I've put over here for some reason. A really nice embossing folder that comes in the suite as well. So contemplate maybe after the event, if you'd like to pop your $15 voucher towards it, you can get the rest of the suite, and I promise you will not regret it. Especially great. I mean, it's obviously meant in some ways, because it's in the Christmas catalogue, it's meant to be a Christmas, or to be useful at Christmas. It's got peace on earth, as for obviously a Christmas sentiment. Peace, love and joy, obviously, again, another sentiment. But you can use it for lots of other things as well. Big hugs for a good friend. When would you not use that? Heartfelt prayers and deepest sympathy. So you can also use it for sympathy cards, things like that when you're thinking of somebody. All the best in your new adventure, which covers a whole lot of things like retirements and engagements, that sort of thing, travelling, all that sort of stuff. And sending love or wishing you love as well, which are fairly general sentiments as well. So I have a feeling this will be a stamp set that you can keep using all year round, which is really wonderful. And the dies, they're pretty cool as well. You get the two sort of sentiment boxes there, the two sort of decorative sentiment boxes. You get a couple of really cool little doves, which actually complement the Designer Series paper, but they're lovely on their own as well. We'll use a couple of those today, and some sprigs and some stars as well. So really, really nice dies, really, really lovely stamp set, and hopefully we'll get a bit of a look at it today. We'll use most of those in our two projects. Now, speaking of projects, I'll put over that. Also as well, and not least, the suite also has this gorgeous, and it's coincidental, you can see all three colours here, this amazing glimmer paper. Absolutely stunning, and we'll use a bit of that as well today as well. So love it. Love a bit of glimmer paper, especially when my favourite colours, they must have seen me coming because the blues are out in force. Okay, as far as projects goes, the projects that we are going to be making on the day, there's two craft along projects. This is a cute little card here, just popped it together there. It uses the Designer Series paper. The Designer Series paper actually makes up most of that front, which is sort of cute. Some ribbon, a sentiment box there, or a circle for your sentiment, and a bit of more paper inside. So that's our first, or one of our projects, and the other one I've left sitting up on the shelf, excuse me. The second project, I think, is the star of the show, and I think we're going to all really enjoy this. It's actually what I saw called on Pinterest a box in a card. Rather than a box card, a box fold card, this is a box on a card. Now you can see there it sits upright. The little box fits into this little gap in the card there. I've seen them used obviously with different decorations. You can pop a name there, a fantastic placeholder, say for a wedding, birthday, something like that, where you want to give somebody a little gift, a little sort of table gift there. You could pop any number of things in there. It's a lovely little size box. I think it's a 2x2. I think that's how I designed it. Yeah, probably a 2x2. You can fit anything from a chocolate even through to a little jewellery box if you wanted to get a little bit crazy. So, yeah, cute little card there. I'm using the Peace on Earth, the paper there as well. And you open it up and you can pop your personal message there. Probably can't pop it in an envelope. It's really meant to be sitting on a surface to give to somebody as a little surprise like that. So that's our box on a card project. So there are our 2 projects for the day. So they're the craft along projects that you will do with me on the day of my launch or afterwards if you follow up on the videos. Some lovely silver accents. As I say, if you would like me to cut the kit, it's an additional $10, but I will publish what you need in your stash. If you've got all that, then you may not need me to cut the kit for you, and you can save yourself a wee bit of money as well. So there are our 2 kits. The launch registration closes on the 3rd of September, which is when the new catalogue goes live, and that's when I'm going to order everybody's designer series paper, ribbon and bling. And then after that, those of you who want kits, I will cut those and send them to you directly from here in Hobart. So that's the projects for our launch. Okay, today we're going to be using the same set, the same suite, but we are going to be doing something a wee bit different. And you actually sort of get 2 cards for the price of 1 out of this little design. So I'll show you the cards we're going to make today, although if you've seen the event, you've probably seen them already. We've got this little guy here and we've got this little guy here. So we're going to make the 2 cards just to show you what you can do with this. So it's actually, you can probably see that sits up and away from the card base a little bit, and as does this. We've actually used some window sheet with some strips to give it that sort of, it's almost a floating frame sort of feel to it. But the little piece that we've taken out of the middle of the frame, we've used to make a beautiful card of our own as well. So I've used those pretty doves. And as you can see, I've used some of the wonderful glimmer paper as well. Okay, so that's our 2 cards. We're going to start with making the sort of strip technique first, and then we can go separately to the 2 cards. Okay, I did produce one earlier just in case it all goes to mess, but we hopefully won't need that. We'll just be able to do the one we've got. So I've got a card base. Now, I'm having discussions with a lady this morning or yesterday about what's actually a standard card base for me, and it seems to change. This one is, I'm not going to call it standard because that would probably give the false impression. This one is actually 5 3/4 tall by 4 1/8. So it's a full 8 1/4 scored in the middle and 5 3/4 tall. So that's our card base. I can pop that aside for the minute. Get rid of that, it's a bit crinkly. Okay, so we've got a sheet of window sheet here that you can see. There we go. So that's going to form the basis for our designer series paper. And I've got a piece of designer series paper. So the sheet of window sheet is 1/4 inch, I think, smaller, or 1/8. 1/8. So it's 4 inches by 5 5/8. And so is the little piece of designer series paper. So we're going to grab our trimmer and we're going to cut the strips. Now, I'm not going to get too out of control with the width of the strips. They're going to just basically be anything between 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch. So let's just go, and I'm just going to do it totally random. But this is the important part here. As you're cutting them, keep them in the right order so that they slip back together. That's the thing you've got to remember. You waste a lot of time trying to put the jigsaw puzzle back together if you let them get out of order. So I'm going to start with 1/2 inch. And as I say, put it over there and keep it in order. Then I'll go 3/4. and this is totally random, I'm just making this up as I go along, maybe a 5/8. And forgive me if I'm sticking to inches, but, you know, anything between, what are we saying, 1.3 and 2 centimetres. That's a sort of, yeah, anything between 1.3 and 2 centimetres. It's not a huge, what's the word, margin there. They're all roughly the same. So I'm just going like that, keeping them in order over here so I don't have to muck around with them later. And as I say, I haven't got any particular order for this. I'm just doing it as the mood takes me. And there goes Ruby. Ruby's decided to bark because her dad's not here. He's gone swimming and she missed her walk this morning, so she's not a happy girl. Okay, so there we are. So there's our, I don't know, what's that, 8 strips? Yeah, somewhere between 1/2 inch and 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so here's our window sheet. Now, it's very, 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 very hard to see that sitting on the bench like that. So I found it a lot easier yesterday. Excuse me. A lot easier yesterday. Stephen's decided to get a cough at the moment, so I'm not overly happy because he gave me his cough last time and that's why I was sick for a week. So I'm hoping he doesn't give me his cough this time. Okay, I found it marginally. What's easier for me, it's not so easy for you. I think it's still a bit hard to see, but for me, on that white background is much easier for me to see. Now, rather than glue, which will go everywhere, for this, I'm going to pop it together with some double-sided tape. Double-sided tape or snail, whichever way you go is perfectly fine. So I'm going to start with the top one, which is this first one that we did. Now, on the 1/2 inch ones, I think you're fairly safe just to put a single line of double-sided tape. Depends how wide your snail is. And make sure I put that the right way. Yep, that's the downside there. And because they are exactly the same width, I'm just going to line it up with the left-hand side and hopefully the top and run it along. Now, if you didn't want to be as precise as I'm trying to be here, make your strips longer, make your window sheet longer, and just trim it down later. But I thought I'd try and be a little bit more precise. Now, these thick ones, these 3/4 of an inch ones, I'd suggest you pop 2 layers of double-sided tape, just because when we cut out the centre, you don't want any loose bits sort of flying around. You can see there's some discussions. We've got a couple of Canadian ladies joining us, Lisa and Mary. Are you both from Ontario, are you? Could be the start of a beautiful friendship. Okay, make sure I got it the right way around, Julianne. There, that's better. So I'm trying to match the sort of pattern as best I can and leaving probably, I'd say, 1/8 of an inch, maybe less actually, probably only just over a 1/16 of an inch maybe between the two, so that there's a gap between them anyway, rather than just popping them all back in order. You might as well have left them together, but we're just going to pop a little gap between the two. Anyway, ladies, it's lovely to have you both with us. I think I saw Mary say it's her first time. Welcome, Mary. What else have I got there? Maureen. Yep, we only just started, Maureen. You missed this, probably missed the spiel about launch, but you've probably seen it on my Facebook page anyway. If not, if you're interested in coming along, please just yell. And as I say, open to everyone, whether you're a demonstrator, if you're in my team, if you're in someone else's team, if you're not a demonstrator, you're a customer, you're very, very welcome. And we're just working our way down here. And we've got Lena as well. Gosh, that must be big in Canada, or is it just because the time distance works? I mean, the time distance, the time difference, Julianne, difference. Okay, so what where are we now? It's just nearly 11 o'clock in the morning here in Australia. So what time is it for you ladies in Canada? Working our way down, turning it round. I'm going to have a terrible, put one on upside down, I just know it. Ah, don't touch yet. There. Now look, the first one I did, I got to the bottom after thinking that I was doing it wonderfully even by eye. Ended up getting to the bottom and realising it was slightly crooked. So obviously, so that's 5, oh, so it's nearly 6 o'clock. Nearly 6 o'clock in the evening, tea time, dinner time. Sorry, that shows my Hobart origins that I call dinner tea. Or at least that's what my mum always did. My mum and dad, dinner was tea. Dinner was pretty fancy if, you know, mum actually cooked vegetables. Then it sort of started to get called dinner. Tea was like, tea time was like if she just cooked soup or my mum tended to cook scones and call it a meal. No wonder I have problems with food. Hope nobody's watching who knows my mum. Never much of a cooker, my mum. Still isn't. That's why she likes to get her food from her daughters, my sister and I. So I can tell I'm a tiny bit off. It always seems to be I end up being slightly high on the left-hand side. Yes, but I remember Sunday nights was tea was scones. Scones and tea in front of the telly. I think there was something on we used to watch as a family. Might have been Doctor Who. Was it Doctor Who? It's Doctor Who on a Sunday night. Anyway, we used to watch it, which was nice. It was really nice. My brother hated Doctor Who. He was 3 years younger than me. He used to hide behind the couch the whole time. And he used to actually, it was funny, when the three of us were little, God, the things you think about when you're putting on double-sided tape. When the three of us were little, we used to bath like one after the other, me, my sister and my brother. Darren, my brother, used to always insist on going to the bath when Doctor Who was on because he hated it. He was scared of it. And I think he felt that it was, eek, what have I done? Have I mixed them up? I have, or does this one go next? What have you done, Julianne? No, that one's there. Is that one? Oh, I think I've mixed it up. I put that one first when it should have been after, but that's okay. I'm going to live with it because otherwise, you know, what choice have I got? I have to live with it. I'm not going to try and get it off now. That's okay. I shouldn't talk about the old days, obviously. Yes, so anyway, Darren used to insist on having his bath when Doctor Who was on, so he didn't have to watch it. You wouldn't think that now. He's a big, burly, 60-year-old man. Oh, my God, no, he's not 60 yet. 58, 57. Okay, so this little one, I'm going to just use the very edge of it because I've got a tiny little gap at the bottom there and it's too big just to leave. So I'm just going to pop this tiny last piece on the very edge and I will trim that down. Okay, so there's all our little strips on. You can see there's a gap through them all, so you can see there as well. That's exactly what we were after. So I will grab my trimmer and I will trim this down. So yours was Vincent Price, was it, Susan? I do remember that show. I think I was a little bit older at that stage because you're a bit younger than me. But I do remember his voice used to sort of, used to be quite chilling. Okay, there we go. So I've trimmed that down. We are a little bit skew-whiff at the bottom, but I don't think anyone's going to notice that when we get going. Okay, there we go. So that is our, I've got to work out which way to do it since I've got the little boo-boo. Doesn't matter too much. There's our little strip. Now, what we're going to do is grab my embossing folder and the dies. Ooh, bang. Thankfully, I have my camera, my mic, so that shouldn't have deafened you. It deafened me. I dropped my plate. A friend of mine asked me today. She wants to get into videos. She said, "How do you edit your videos? Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me with the mic." She said, "How do you edit your videos?" She said, "What do you use?" And I said to her, "Look, you've seen my videos. Do you think they're actually edited? Honestly, that would be what you see. If that was edited, then I really need to go back to the drawing board as far as editing is concerned, because it's all a bit hodgepodge." And anyway, no, I do not edit my videos, not even to a certain degree, not even the live ones, the pre-recorded ones, because editing takes so long. I could do 1,000,000 videos in the time it takes me to record and edit one. You're going to scroll through every frame. It's a nightmare. Anyway, so I don't edit. So you get things like dropping plates, losing things on the floor. Yeah, total random muck up. So I've got the larger of the two sentiment boxes there. So if you can hear me, I've moved away from my mic. So there we are. Yep, so I'm popping that through. Now, this is a tricky piece because for some reason with the, window sheet and the designer series paper, it wouldn't cut properly with my normal, it wouldn't cut completely with my normal sandwich. I had to actually go back to the standard cut and emboss sandwich and hope for the best. And it's mostly cut. Is it mostly cut? It's mostly cut. I can probably get that with a pair of scissors. Now, if you find that that's not going to cut for you, she says, coming in front of the television, you can, if it's mostly cut like that, you can just finish it off with a pair of snips. But I did find with one of the ones that I did, I needed to pop the normal sandwich plus a couple of layers of designer cardstock. Okay, so a couple of layers of cardstock plus a couple of layers of cardstock and the normal sandwich. Okay, but this has gone so close that I can just do it with my scissors. Now, forgive me, ladies, my computer has decided that it's decided to battery go low. You can tell I haven't done this for such a long time now. I have to unplug my camera for to put my charger cable in, which I've stupidly popped into the camera hole, which means I'm going to briefly lose my camera, and if I don't get it back, I'm terribly sorry. I'll try, but we have to do it. So that goes in there. That goes in there. Okay. Okay. Now you can probably still hear me, but the picture has frozen, hasn't it? Now, sorry, I'm going to have to work something out here because I've mucked it up terribly. This might be one of those videos that I actually want to edit. think I got it back. Okay, there we go. Is that me? Yeah, I'm back. Apologies about that, ladies. That was a bit silly of me, but I didn't want my computer to run out of juice while I was crafting. But anyway, we're back. We can always edit that out in the post-production. Just check those. Okay, so lovely. Now let's keep going. Okay, so this one, as I say, we're nearly out. So close, it's not really worth popping it through again. I'll grab my snips, and there's just a tiny bit that needs a bit of help that side, and there's a tiny bit that needs a bit of help on that side. Sometimes sandwiches, your cut and emboss machine sandwich is a bit of a trial and error. Forgive me, I want to keep the straight line happening. There we go. Okay, so we've got one piece with our hole in the middle. There we are, and we've got one piece that's just on its own. And now we can actually pop our two cards together. So, two cards. I've got one with a misty, I think I saw Cheryl ask me what colour cardstock I was using. This is a misty moonlight. As I say, this is the Peaceful Garden, so it's got a lot of misty moonlight in it. And the second one is a white card base. We might do one card. We'll do this card first, this one here. We'll do one card at a time. You know, I get terribly confused when I try to do too much at once. So this one is going to have our frame sitting on top of it. It's just a tiny weeny border all the way around. Yep, so just like less than 1/16 of an inch sort of thing. I'm going to pop some dimensionals on the back of that. That gives us the lovely sort of depth that we're after. And the best thing to do, obviously, is to line up your dimensionals with your strips of cardstock, of designer series paper, I mean. So just take it all the way down. Obviously give it enough to support it, but stick to the spots where it'll be covered by your strips of paper. Sorry, I think I moved my mic then. Bear with me. So I actually got this, we got this design, kind of a bit mad with the dimensionals here, aren't I? We got this designer series paper as part of a demonstrator only event called Creativity Now, which was held a few months ago now, but we got to order this, this beautiful suite as part of that event. So if you're thinking about becoming a demonstrator, there's yet another perk. I spoke to a lady today who said, she said to me, how come all the demonstrators have got all their, starting to get all their products so early from the Christmas catalogue? And I went, well, my dear, that's one of the perks of being a demonstrator. Not only do you get it as a discount, you also can get it really, really early. So, and some things even earlier than others. Okay, so lots and lots and lots of dimensionals there, so it's not going anywhere in a hurry. Just lining it up with the top and the side if I can. I might just bring it a little bit closer to me. Bear with me. I just don't want to get it too off centre, and it's hard with, sometimes a little bit hard with the angle that you come into with the video. Oh, that's terrible, Julianne. Absolutely atrocious, even though I brought it closer. Forgive me. Good thing with dimensionals is you can bring them off. If you act quickly, you can bring them off quickly. Got those first few nice and easy. Okay, we'll try again. I'm going to bring my head into shot probably here, so bear with me. You can see my beautiful grey hair. My mum's nearly 84, and She still dyes her hair like a cherry blonde colour, which is perfectly fine. That's how she likes to present herself to the world. Yes, she still dyes her hair, and she's absolutely disgusted and shocked and horrified that I've stopped dyeing my hair. But when I retired from the paid workforce, I just couldn't handle it, the hassle anymore. I just decided to let it go, be me, and not spend the money, to be honest. It's very expensive. Okay, so I've got the rest for my little card here. She is searching desperately for the little circle that should be somewhere. Oh, no, is this the one with the circle? No, this isn't the one with the circle. Okay, so there we are. So what we're going to pop on here now, we've got that on there. We've got our lovely little frame. And then we've got our two little, now these are some sprigs from the dies that I mentioned. And I've popped them through the cloud cover glimmer paper. So you get to have a little bit look at that. I'm going to grab some glue. And just pop some glue, look, just on the finest bits. If you're someone who can use that adhesive paper, I'm sure you probably could do that. It's never worked for me. I can't get the hang of it. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Oh, you blighter. Came out all over my hands. Man, maybe this is definitely one of those videos I should have edited. We'll see how we go. Nah, that's all right. Glue everywhere. How many of us have got glue all over our hands before? Everyone, I reckon. If you haven't, are you really a crafter? So I'm going to pop these two little sprigs coming from the bottom sort of left-hand corner and up. There. And this has decided to come out really fast now. Since I've already got it on my hands, I'll put some more. And then another one sort of coming out and over there. Okay. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, our little dove is here. So I've already cut him out. There's two doves. There's this little guy who's sort of flying off to the right-hand side there. And the other one is sort of more, it's got sort of more spread out. So he looks like he's sort of hanging in air. He's going to sit just on the edge of that card just there. So half on the little gap and half on the cardstock. So I'll pop some dimensionals on where he's going to be hanging in thin air, so to speak. Probably his body there, and that wing, both wings or just one? Just at least that wing. And I'll pop some glue around his tail sort of area. Yeah, do love a good dove. There you go. And sentiment. So I've got a strip. Which one? This one here. A little strip of white cardstock there. I'm going to grab my Misty Moonlight ink. Here we go. My Misty Moonlight ink. And sentiment. We'll use the same one. All the best in your new adventure here. That one there. Don't know what particular new adventure this card would suit, but I'm sure there's a new adventure out there somewhere that would be fine. I'll grab a block. Oh no, not that one. I've got my blocks hidden behind my iPad, so it's a bit hard to tell. This one will do. Here we are. Just give that a wee trim. Down to the right. width. And we're bringing this in from the sort of right-hand side and across. So it's going to sort of be half on the frame and half off as well. Use my edges there. And we've still got our second card to do. As I say, it's like 2 cards for the price of 1 here today. I don't give you value for money. Sort of absent for a month and then you get 2. Huh. Gosh, hopefully you'll forgive me for my absence. As I say, we've had lots and lots happening in the family with engagements and illnesses. It's been fun. I prefer the engagements to the illness, if I'm completely honest with you. There we are. And the bling. Now, the bling is cute. Now, the bling isn't typically what you'd think of as Christmas, which, again, reinforces the fact that this is a forever, all through the year sort of bundle. The little flowers come in 2 sizes, large and small, and they come in the 3 colours. So there's a white one. It's more of a translucent white one. This light one here would be Cloud Cover is my guess. Cloud Cover, Mossy Meadow, and this beautiful dark one is our Secret Sea. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, I'm going to use the white ones because they stand out nicely against the Misty Moonlight card base. Obviously, I now need to put a little white layer on the inside, which I'll do off camera. And this little guy is done. Here we go. So that's our first card. Second card, let's grab the other piece, which is this little piece there that's left over. It's going, as I say, a white card base. Big. A white card base, and as mentioned, I've used, well, not as mentioned because I haven't told you that yet, I've used the embossing folder. So this is the embossing folder from the suite as well. Okay, so it's a I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, it's a sort of a blank space in the middle, sort of a frame, and that matches the size of the big die, and around it's a whole lot of foliage, berries and flowers and foliage, so it's nice. It's nice, and there it is there. So I'm going to pop this onto our white card base. Okay, now it looks like this one's got a bigger border, so it's a 5 by 3/4 card, but I've cut the paper down to 5.5 long. Okay, so that's on there. We'll grab those dimensionals again, pop a little piece on. So I'm just going to align that perfectly to the sort of plain pot spot in our layer. Is just pop it into the comments. Is the volume been okay in this one? As I say, I did have trouble. I think I'd fiddled something I shouldn't fiddle when I was doing the videos for my last class. So hopefully I've popped them back into the right positions. So as so listening has the apart from probably when I put my head down, because sometimes that's unavoidable, but normally has the volume been okay this time? There we go. So that's in on there. As I say, it's set up a little bit. Let's bring in another dove. Now, I thought he got a little bit too lost just popping him straight onto the thing there. So I've actually punched myself a circle of Misty Moonlight ink. Now, that's only a tiny weeny little circle. That's like 1 3/4, I think, from our punch range. So I'm going to pop that on first. there. Then grab some little dimensionals and pop our, I was going to say swan. Let's pop our swan on. Why not? Let's call it a swan. Pop our dove on. Pigeon. It's a dove, isn't it? Pigeons are sort of like hang around garbage bins, don't they? Anyway, there we go. Pop our dove on. Thanks guys, Judy, Evelyn, Tanya, telling me the volume's okay. Must have fixed it. That's the bad thing about not editing, I suppose. I tend to let them slip through with volume bad, but, you know, that's part of it. Okay, so there's our little dove. There's a spare one. That was the one I made just in case. As I said to the lady who was asking me questions about videos, always have this is one I prepared earlier ready in the background just in case everything goes wrong. Okay, so I've got a little strip of white here for our sentiment. I'm going to use, I think this is most definitely a Christmas card, this one. I'm going to use Peace, Love and Joy. There. I definitely do have to find a larger block. I don't think Peace, Love and Joy is going to fit on. No, it's not. I'll use this one. I know where my normal block that I would use is. It's sitting in a bag behind me from a event I went to, but I can't be bothered finding it. So I'll use this really big block. And my ladies will be looking at me going, Julianne, use the right sized block. We'll get away with it, don't worry. Just don't tell anyone. Okay, so Peace, Love and Joy. Again, I'm using my Misty Moonlight. I'm going to have to just bear with me. I'll bring it a bit closer just so I get across it. I haven't left myself a lot of wriggle room with this piece of cardstock. That's not too bad. There we go. Peace, Love and Joy. Just give that a little bit of a trim. Bin chicken. Bin chicken. I know there in Queensland, when we visited Queensland, they had what they called bin chickens there, and I think they might be in Sydney as well. They're sort of like a egret. Any of the northern ladies tell me, are they an egret? They've got like a white head or a black head and white body, or white body, or I'm not really sure what they're called, but they do seem to hang around people's garbage bins. They weren't particularly loved by the locals, I don't think, because they left a fair bit of mess in their wake. But they were new to me, being a Tassie girl. The only things that get into bins down here is my dog. She gets bored inside. Okay, so I'm going to put a dimensional on either end. Ibis. Ibis. You said that really quick, ladies. You were obviously had them in the top of your head. Ibis. Yeah. I'm going to pop a little bit of glue just in the middle where it's going to be on the centre piece. Pop that just in slightly under the tail, not too much under the tail because we don't want to cover our pretty sentiment. Take that across. Okay, so there's our love, peace and joy. Again, I'm going to use the white. Going to use the, try and speak properly, Julianne. Going to use the white again, because I think they do stand out lovely against the mossy meadow, misty moonlight. Too many alliterated words. There we are. There we are. And that's card number 2. As I say, 2 for the price of 1. Can't go better than that. So there's our 2 cards for today. So we've used the sort of the frame for the left-hand one. We've used the sort of cutout for the right-hand one. Definitely no waste here in the craft room today. Our beautiful doves, that gorgeous glimmer paper. And, yeah, really nice. And the sentiments that go with that, that Peace on Earth stamp set. Okay, so that is our, I shouldn't get rid of them, should I? They are the 2 cards for today. Here are, that's our our projects for my launch. So there we are. So that's those I've showed you. Excuse me, that's Stephen's cough. I did want to show you a couple more things that I actually did with this same suite, because as I say, we've had it for a fair while, so I've been playing with it for a while. There's one I made sort of a reverse gate, sort of sits up like that on display, like that. So used a little bit of blending there to make the dove sort of stand out a little bit. So he's really cute. One of the dies has got this tiny little sprig. So you can see there the dove is carrying the sprig, as is traditional. So that one there. So another little dove on the back there. So that's a reverse gate. What else did I do? Oh, this is a easel, a side easel. I did that one there. And I fussy cut that gorgeous flower. So this one's got nothing really Christmas related in it. It's really just a card for a friend. So big hugs to a good friend. So that's like a side easel. So that's another one I've done. And these two we did, and I can only find 2 of the 4. These are the cards we did at that Creativity Now event that I mentioned. So another example of how to use this gorgeous suite. This one's quite unusual. It's actually like a little envelope-y thing and a card all in one. You use that, again, I've sponged it to make the dove stand out. The card base is really actually designer series paper with a dimensional backing. There you go. And the ribbon wraps all the way around and keeps it closed that way. So that's one we did at Creativity Now, so I can't take credit for that, but that's gorgeous. I'll use that one. And this cute little box, we did this one as well. So, yeah, as you can see, it's a really lovely suite with lots and lots and lots of possibilities for use for Christmas and beyond. So here we go. I'll just bring in this whole pile of absolute loveliness here. Look. There you go. So there we are. Now I've used one pack of paper for all of that. So, yeah, we're getting value for money. Okay, so that's my cards for you for today. If you're in Australia and you'd like to participate in my launch, please reach out. Going to get some beautiful product, get to have a lovely play and see lots of other wonderful projects as well. Well, I'm assuming they're wonderful. I haven't done them yet, but anyway, I'm sure they'll be wonderful. We have a good day. We have lots of laughs and, yeah, you get to craft along with me as well, which is great. So thanks for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, the rest of your Saturday night, wherever you're watching in the world. I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're watching on there. Or sent notifications so you can you know when I go live again next time on Facebook. So anyway, thanks for joining me. Any questions, please reach out. If you want to do launch, please reach out. Anything at all, just please let me know. And I'll see you all next weekend. Okay,